the right tenant can not only help increase the profitability of your rental property, but it can help to minimize the headaches of being a landlord. You can choose many potential tenants, but you don't want to just choose anybody when you're looking to fill your property. You want a tenant who will pay on time, who obeys the law, and who will keep the properties nice. The National Multifamily Housing Council reports that 44.1 million households in America are renters. So to choose the right tenant, you want to make sure your tenant screening is a high priority. My name is Nick Jensen with NV Property Management, and in this video, we're going to talk about avoiding these mistakes when you're screening potential tenants. First mistake, not using a good tenant screening software. The decision you make will only be as good as the information that you collect. In the past, this was actually done manually, but today there are a variety of reliable resources you can use to actually screen your tenants. So you want to make sure you're working with the best tenant screening software out there so that you have the facts in order to make the right decisions. Mistake number 2, not complying with housing laws. There are both federal and local laws you will need to abide by during the screening process. So be careful with the questions you're asking tenants during that process. Fair housing laws protect people from potential landlords discriminating against them because of their religion, their marital status, their race, their gender identity, and more. You cannot discriminate against a potential tenant. And if you do not abide by the laws, there are legal ramifications for this. And ignorance will not save you. You need to be sure to know the law. Third mistake, not screening co-applicants. Many rental households will have more than just one adult living on the property. So if you have multiple adults moving in, you want to make sure that you screen all of the adults, not just the first applicant that completed the rental application form. Background checks for tenants must be for anybody over the age of 18 living on the property. If you do not screen everybody, you could have to deal with bigger issues later on. An example may be if a married applicant have adult children living with them. It's important to learn if those children or those applicants have a criminal history, because you do not want any illegal activities taking place on your property. Another example is when co-applicants move in and they are contributing to the rent. What would happen if they were to move out or stop paying the rent? Will the other party be able to keep up with the commitments? And if they're not, or if they can't, will they just be left high and dry? So if this happens, you want to make sure that you have all of the information needed to hold all applicants and their co-applicants responsible. Mistake number 4, not reading a credit report. Spending the time and the money to have a potential tenant complete a rental application form is to protect you. So a background check for tenants must include a credit check as well. A tenant that has a history of non-payment brings a higher likelihood that you could actually be their next victim. And this could lead to an eviction, which in the end is a significant enough reason to choose a different tenant. However, you should not only look at the credit score alone or this credit score number alone. You need to read the entire report. Many times a credit history will condense the information and tie it to just one number. You'll want to make sure you look at the circumstances surrounding that number. For example, the credit score could be low because the tenant has one single enormous debt, but they have a history of paying all of their bills on time. And really, that's what you want, someone who actually pays you on time. Fifth mistake, not checking bank statements. You not only want to know if the renter has a good credit, but you want to get a sense of their spending habits. When is their payday? How do they prioritize their spending? How often do they have more expenses than income coming into their account? They could lie to you about their salary, so you want to make sure that you verify their information and not get caught off guard by somebody who's trying to be a fraudster. Mistake number 6, not checking employment history. For an applicant to be a reliable renter, they need to have a stable job or a stable income source. Ask yourself, does the potential tenant have a secure job? How long have they been at their job? Because if it's a new job, your risk increases. You want to make sure that you use caution when choosing a tenant with an unstable work history. 7th mistake, not doing a landlord verification. You'll want to do a landlord verification on all potential tenants or all potential applicants. You need to know how they have treated a previous rental property, whether they have fulfilled the terms of their previous leases, and if they owe the previous landlord any money. Tenants with good landlord verifications are a great sign of being a good tenant again. Likewise, on the flip side of that, if the landlord verification does not come back favorable, it's a good indication that that tenant may cause you problems. Hope these tenant screening tips are helpful. If you need further assistance or you'd like to talk to us about property management services, feel free to reach out. You can contact us on our website at nvpm.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.